Whoa, there you are. Almost didn't see you there back in 2022. But no, seriously, Happy New Year, guys. And in today's vlog, I'm going to be going over where I went wrong in 2022, where I went right in 2022, and how we're going to fix it going forward in 2023. So 2022 was a year of ups and downs for me on YouTube, but I guess there's no better place to start that. Now the good in 2022, it is just a couple of bullet points, but I guess the first big bullet point, the first major bullet point is I didn't quit YouTube, even though I had a lot of self-doubt. I had a lot of sort of caring about the opinions of others, which also links in the bad stuff, which will be later on in the video. So stick around for that, because there is a lot more for the bad. But the first major one is that I didn't quit. I kept going, like I say, through self-doubt, through sort of caring too much of what others think, and nearly quitting YouTube at one point. I did stick about, I did keep doing it because I do love it. And also thanks a lot to you guys liking, commenting, sharing the video if you did that. Even if you're just someone that's clicked on this video, you're the reason that I sort of stuck around, and that is what made 2022 so great, is that I didn't quit YouTube. Thoroughly still enjoying it, more determined than ever this year. And that's when we get on to point number 2, which is I'm still enjoying it, and the channel did actually grow a little bit more. As you'll see from the graphs on the screen now, most stuff on the channel doubled. The views pretty much doubled, or more than doubled. The subscribers almost doubled, and the content was just below, I think, doubling, quite a bit below, I think it was, from doubling. But I did still really enjoy YouTube. I think one of the reasons that I did enjoy it, but also could be a negative, and this is in the bad part as well, is I didn't have any goals or expectations for YouTube this year. The content was just driven from what was going on in the house. There was real no goal to get, like, there was no subscriber count. If you were watching the Vlogmas series, I did sort of say, oh, we want to hit 500, but I said to Katie the other night, I literally just thought of that at the beginning of December as a goal to sort of go into 2023 with, but I didn't end up hitting it, which it wasn't a big deal. I wasn't too fussed, but it is something that I do want to change in the new year. I do want to set goals for YouTube specifically, not just myself. Definitely want to set goals for YouTube going forward into 2023. Right, so now we're back in the house. We are going to go through 2022 and all of the bad stuff. So basically the first bullet point is why I nearly quit. So I have never actually told this story before, but I did actually nearly quit YouTube. It's nothing major, and all the points in here sort of link together. I did nearly quit just down to people at work finding out, and it sounds so silly when you get older, but people at work finding out, and it's sort of like they start taking the mick a little bit, and you sort of, at first you sort of find it laughing, like a bit funny, and you laugh it off, but then like eventually, and it keeps sort of going, it does sort of feel a bit like, I don't want to say bullying, but like it does feel a little bit like, is this worth it anymore, and can I be bothered to keep dealing with this? And that was why, linking on to point number 2, was why I was so inconsistent throughout the year. I think a lot of the time it was just, there was people sort of not taking the mick per se, but yeah, I'm just gonna say it, like taking the mick, and then that would link to me going, oh, do I want to actually upload this weekend, or do I want to upload today? Even though there'd be stuff going on, in the back of my head it was sort of like a mental battle of, can I be bothered to sort of deal with this, and is it like, is it just worth the hassle, to basically put it bluntly? So yeah, that was why I nearly quit YouTube, which then leads us on to point number 2, which we have sort of covered just there. But point number 2 is inconsistency in YouTube. The year started off absolutely brilliant. So on the back of 2021's Vlogmas, we continued it into 2022. I think we uploaded daily for most of January, and yeah, then it just went, and that wasn't even when they sort of, people at work found out and started sort of taking the mick, as I linked back to in point 1. But I just sort of got a bit lost, I think, in terms of like I think the daily uploads started to sort of decline a bit. I think people were a bit less interested in what was going on, rightly so, because sometimes there was a couple of days where there was just not a lot going on, and I don't really blame people for not wanting to click off the video, or not really be bothered about watching every video on the channel. But it just made me think, when do I upload? I didn't have a thorough schedule, and there wasn't like set days of uploading, it was just whenever. And that then takes us on to point number 3, which is I was really just sort of unsure in what direction that the channel I wanted it to go. Me and Katie had a lot planned last year. We had a lot of trips, as you will have seen. We did a lot with the house. And I think a lot of the beginning part of last year, that sort of awkward period after the daily uploads in January through to sort of February to April, May time, it was basically just waiting for the garden to get done, and we were saving so hard to get the money together to do the garden that it was sort of stagnating the inside of the house, if that makes sense. So like, we were saving so much for the outside, for the garden, which is right behind us, that we couldn't do stuff like the paneling that we've done in the living room this year. We couldn't do even just little things. We couldn't do anything because we were putting all of our spare money away for, maybe it was a little trip, or mainly, like I say, it was just the garden, and it limited us so much that in the beginning part of the year, my head was all over. I didn't really know like what direction to put the channel in, what day was worth an upload, was this video worth an upload, and I think I really just ultimately overthought everything, and when in reality I should have just uploaded content. But yeah, that then leads us on to point number 4, which is number 4, it can just mentally drain your YouTube. I'm such a small YouTuber, I have no idea what these big YouTubers must go through. But sometimes, and as all of these points linked together, it can just take a toll mentally on you. Like I said in the last clip, is this video good enough? Little things like that, it can really just all add up. People taking the mic, is this video good enough? When's worth an upload? Eventually you can just get sick of it, and when you are such a small YouTuber, it can feel a little bit like it's not even really worth getting this stressed over, because you know, you start, and then I feel like when you start feeling like that, you start looking at YouTube quite negatively, you start looking at yourself negatively, the content you're making negatively, and it's just, it all combusts at the end, and eventually you just sort of take a massive break. And fortunately for me this year, I did take a break, and it really made us learn a lot about myself, the content and everything, and it made us sort of think like, I really like doing this, I do enjoy doing it as a hobby, and I'd love to one day do it as a job. Like I genuinely would. Like me and Katie love doing these videos. But yeah, like I think ultimately the bad this year was a good bad, and I do think you can have good bads. The reason for that is purely just because I learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about the content. I learned a lot about YouTube. And I learned that within myself, like I don't really care what anyone else thinks. As much as I sort of said like I did take a break, it was just a break, as Ross from Friends would say. It was just a break. We were on a break. And I came back, and the uploads have been, yeah, hit and miss every now and then. We did have a holiday. We had the London trip. I vaguely remember this year that between the London trip, the holiday to Zante, and sort of Christmas, it has been inconsistent. I have just been a bit ran down. I have been ill within that time. Not like ill, but just, you know, ran down basically. And I do think, again, other things linked in with mentally, but I'm still here, I'm still doing content, and going forward into 2023, I genuinely can't wait, which is going to lead us on to the end of the video, which is what I'm going to do going forward in 2023. So going forward in 2023, I think you've got to sort of just look at the bad stuff, what went wrong, and just look at it as how you can improve it. So stuff like a rigid schedule. I've just decided coming into this year, there's going to be 2 uploads a week, potentially 3. Vlogmas is still going to happen. That's my favourite time of year, like without doubt. I love uploading daily. Whatever me and Katie get up to, that will be back. The summer holiday, I'm still undecided on. We are going away for 2 weeks with my family in the summer. I don't know whether to do daily uploads or do sort of maybe every other day, or just 2 weekly vlogs. I'm not sure, so definitely let us down in the comment section down below what you think's best for the summer holiday. If you'd like daily vlogs, that's fine. We've got a lovely little apartment. It's not even an apartment, it's more like a little villa, like slash house that we're staying in. It has a pool. It has an office bit as well, like which I've seen on the videos, which was the photos, sorry, which was one reason that I really wanted it. It had a lovely little setup that was like an office, and I was like, that's perfect for editing. So if you do want daily vlogs, let us know. It will ultimately be my decision, but your guys' feedback is always just crucial. The next thing is just not caring as much as what about other people think. I definitely think towards the end of this year that has started to become incorporated into sort of my mentality, and I just wasn't bothered about what other people thought anymore. I kept the YouTube going. And then yeah, the other points are, and this sort of linked in with the first point of only 2 videos a week, I want to have a lot more quality over quantity in terms of content. I want to take more time in editing. I'm not even gonna lie, some edits that I put together can literally take 20 minutes, and I understand that the sort of content that I do in YouTube, it's so easy to sort of be like and do a video like that, because it can just sometimes be 5 or 6 clips, chuck them all together, and that is that. But I really just want to try and learn more, which is another point. I want to learn more about YouTube. I want to sort of progress a lot more as someone that edits, and I want to just get the quality to be a lot better, not necessarily be such high, like just pump out content. And I think that is ultimately why I don't want to do daily vlogs anymore, because working 9-10 hours in a day, then going to the gym and then coming back, sometimes you just have no time and there's not really a lot happen, and you just sat there with the camera like, I've got to force content here. And there's like, that is when people will start going, there was nothing I learned from that vlog, or there was nothing really entertaining happening in that vlog. So you then get associated with someone that's not entertaining, and his vlogs are quite meaningless. And I want the vlogs to be as helpful to you guys as in any way possible, as inquisitive as you want to be. I always say leave comments in the comment section down below, any questions you have. I'm an open book. I will answer anything, any content ideas you have, let us know. I'm more than happy to do pretty much anything. I mean, like, there is a few things obviously that are borderline, but yeah. And then I suppose just to round it all off, because I have gone over a lot of them, like, I want to be more interactive with you guys. That was another point that I had written down. And yeah, I just think ultimately just being more active, having a much more active lifestyle, promoting that healthy lifestyle. Me and Katie have already said when we've been out on the walk, as you will have just seen, like, we want to do this more. We want to get out the house more. And I think that is definitely something to look forward to in 2023. Excuse me. But yeah, in conclusion and in summary, 2022 has been a massive, massive hit for me and Katie. On a personal note, I passed my driving test, got a car, Katie got a new job, and in terms of the house, we got the garden done, we done the paneling in the sitting room, which was more than we ever could have imagined doing. And I just think, like, for this video, although it seems like I have waffled on about the bad stuff, there has been so much that's been good this year. The stuff that I've just mentioned, I had my first collab on YouTube as well, which I did mention on the walk outside, but the wind did pick up and it was a bit like, I didn't want to put that in the video because it was just too windy. But getting that first brand deal was just insane. It was with Cherries. It was really good value. They give a really good discount to you guys, which I don't know if it's still active, but if you want to try it, it will be back in that video. I might even put it on the screen now. But it was just, it made me think, like, wow, like, I'm barely putting in effort here on YouTube, and there was, like, I had a brand offer from someone to do something like that and give back to you guys, which is by far the most important thing in any brand deal for me. Anything I get, I would love to, like, really want to give a discount code to give back to you guys and girls and anyone else watching, so that you can benefit from sort of a success of mine as well. Like I said, we are such a small channel that I just want us to all grow together and benefit off as much as we can together. And I just think it was just such a small thing in one sense of the word, but then it was such a big thing as well, because like I said, I was like, it was so out the blue. I'm sure it was when I was sort of a bit inconsistent, and I was like, wow, like, it really gave us a kick up the backside to get going. And that is something that I'm going to use as fuel for 2023. But just finally, to finish off, I do just want to say again, thank you so much for the support in 2022. It means the world. Even if you just watch one video, if this is the first video you're watching, definitely subscribe and follow the channel, and go back and watch a lot of old videos if it's your sort of content. It just means a lot. Like, anyone that's liked a video, subscribed to the channel, followed the Instagram, which I would definitely recommend doing also. It just means the world to someone like me, that, like, this just started off as a bit of like a, well, it still is a hobby, but it just started off as like a, I don't know how long I'm going to do this. Like, realistically, I was just like, no one's going to care. I'll probably drop off after a couple of months. But as much as this year I didn't have any goals, I definitely didn't expect to be getting anywhere near 500 subscribers. I didn't expect people to still even care, realistically. So I guess going forward into 2023, I just want to keep up the content. I want to, like I say, get the quality a lot better for you guys. and I want to just be more interactive with you. So if you have any comments, get them in the comment section down below. And if you are interested, I would definitely recommend checking out older videos like this one right here. It just, yeah, they all link together. You'll sort of get the vibe of what sort of content creator I am from these sorts of videos, and I would just recommend checking them out. But as always, happy new, well, not, this isn't as always, but happy new year. I hope you have had a great 2022, and I hope you, if you haven't, it's a new year, write 2022 off and start 2023 as best as you can, and I'm sure you will all smash it. But yeah, that's everything from me. Thank you so much for the support this year on the channel. More to come in 2023, and I'll catch you as always in the next one.